Okay? Let us actually react, okay? It is time to bring some gaming here. All right, let's get into this here, because we have the news. We have the news. Ooh, they've actually oh, whoa! Ooh. Oh, they're actually dropping big bombs. They are dropping big bombs here. Huge balance patch leaks. What the hell is this? Oh, whoa, and they're talking about, whoa. Okay. That is content, right? Like, that is some gaming, dude, okay? Huge gaming. You love to see this. All right. Okay, well, we're not looking at that first. Like, you guys have to, you guys are getting teased because, goodness me, we've got ourselves a massive, okay, massive patch here, or rather not a patch, but some massive news. Strike missions, balance, reward. We're dropping all of it. Boom. Cameron is here as well. Solar, skills and balance design lead. Ooh, cool name. EoD is almost upon us. Wanted to give you an advanced look at a few important changes that will help keep Guild Wars 2's endgame PvE fresh and rewarding for a long time to come. These changes to professions and rewards work together with the design of our new Guild Wars 2 Ender Dragon strike mission encounters. We're getting some details. Let's get in there. Strikes! Here we go. So, you'll be introduced to each encounter and their core mechanics as you play through the story. Love it. And access to each strike mission will be permanently unlocked for your account once you complete each relevant chapter in the story journal. Great. Integrating these encounters directly into the story, we're looking to grow the strike mission audience and encourage as many players as possible to try. This is a massive advantage of their approach. We kind of already know this, but it's very good. With this wider target audience, we tuned the base difficulty of each strike mission to make knowledge and mastery of the encounter's mechanics the most important factors in achieving success. Each encounter has a series of pass or fail mechanical checks that reinforce this design philosophy, ensuring that groups can't bypass key mechanics while also ensuring individuals can have heroic moments where they save the group from destruction. We sought to strike a balance where players of all kinds can enjoy the content and have a satisfying experience working their way to victory. That's very interesting. Like, this to me says they're going to be very punishing. Like, you do it or you die, right? You do it or you're going to fail. This is actually very rare in Guild Wars 2, and one of the problems with raids actually is that mechanics are optional and cheesable. Definitely strike missions, they do basically nothing. The current ones, right? They do nothing. This is a huge, that's a big promise, by the way. That is a very big statement to make. I want to see if they're going to deliver on this, okay? I really do. Let's see what that is. I mean, I don't really want to say if that's true or not just yet. I think it's too early to say. For those looking for even greater glory, challenge modes for each strike mission will be coming shortly after launch, with increased rewards for those who choose to tackle them. We're in the final stages of tuning and balancing these grueling encounters and can't wait to unleash them into the world. Ooh, fun stuff. So yeah, that's going to be after launch, right? So there's kind of like a second bomber fight. That's good. I love it. Great. We already know that, though. We heard about that last time. Rewards. This is actually a big deal. The strike mission reward structure is very confusing, and it's not good. Ooh, but they're going to talk about... Ooh, they're talking about fractals. Are they talking about raids? Do they talk about raids? Strikes? Oh! Okay, right. No, I'm not even going there yet. Wow. Okay, this is a huge... What is this post? This post is huge! We approach any adjustments to our Mystic Coin economy with a lot of care. Mystic Coins are a fundamental currency used to create Mystic Clovers and are used directly in many legendary items. Currently, Challenge Fractals are one of the largest single sources of Mystic Coins. Very true, actually. You get a lot. You can even get like 8 MC a day sometimes if you get lucky. Huge. Although this challenge is random and unreliable, it adds up as many players take on the challenge modes every day, making Fractals the most efficient one-stop source for obtaining gold. Oh yeah, it's just like the best gold in the game, just flat, right? And you also can buy the 2 daily clovers as well. We want to spread the love to other types of content, but that means that no single source should award such high amounts. Oh, wow. Nerfs? Mystic Clovers. Oh, that is brutal. Oh, wait, no, it's not that brutal. Mystic Clover purchase from the Fractal vendor now resets weekly instead of daily. So you can get 2 a day right now. Now you can get 10 a week. So it's actually only a little nerf. You're losing 4 Mystic Clovers a week. That's actually not the end of the world. That's still very strong and very high utility. That's not that bad. That's fine. Also, a little bit less annoying because you can just do it once a week instead of having to talk to the vendor every day. That's fine by me. And, guys, buy Mystic Clovers now, by the way. Do it now. Oh, hang on, though. The cost of each Mystic Clover you purchase from the Fractal vendor has been adjusted to cost 1 less glob and 1 more MC. Oh! Ooh! Ouch. Yeah, that hurts, actually. That's a big deal. That makes it that's a huge nerf, actually, for Fractals. Wow. Wait, what? Oh my god. Bosses in challenge mode no longer have a chance to drop MC, and you need more to buy the clovers? Fractal CM's getting butchered. I think, oh man, I guess because they're giving it to the other gamers, Fractals can't be as OP, but man, that actually makes Fractals way less appealing. Ooh, I think they need to be careful with this. I think they might want, I think this is too harsh. They might want to look at making Fractal CMs being a bit more appealing, because that makes doing daily CMs way less attractive, actually. I do not think this is a good idea. That's brutal. That is brutal. In terms of, like, the rewards there from that. Ooh. Yeah, I think they've got to give something here. They've got to give something. They've got to add some kind of other form of gold, right? Like some kind of liquidity or, like, junk items or more crafting materials. Because that is a butchery to Fractal rewards, actually. Oof. And I think that will actually seriously, drop people down, I think. Yeah, the new price and weekly frequency of the discounted Mystic Cloves from Fractal vendors will be consistent with other sources of Mystic Cloves or adding such rates. Yeah, this is why they're doing this, right? They're nerfing Fractals because Fractals have been very, very overpowered for a long time. That's why this nerf is kind of justified as well. Fractals are ridiculously overpowered in terms of rewards, but they're also doing it because they're going to distribute it to strike missions and raids. The removal of Mystic Coin drops from challenge mode bosses creates room for us to add a consistent and predictable source of Mystic Coins to strikes. And in theory, this will also potentially reduce the price of MC, so it kind of hurts less. But what I don't like is, I have to say, I'm not a huge fan of disincentivizing players to engage with these daily challenge modes. I'm just not a big fan in general with that, to be honest. But I think, bear in mind, this will be daily stuff, guys, with strikes that will give you Mystic Clovers and Mystic Coins. So bear this in mind, that I think there will be a lot of coins generated from that that you'll be able to get daily, just not from Fractals, that will potentially cause the value of MCs to drop. But wow, that's explosive. Honestly, I like that they're willing to make big changes. I am, right? I think they need to look at that, but I like they're willing to hit it hard. They're willing to pump. And that's good, right? I like that they're willing to make radical change. Right now in the live game, the Icebridge Saga strike missions award red, blue, and green profit shards. The color awarded changes week to week. This is more complicated than it needs to be. Very true. It's a system so complicated that I'm not entirely sure what you get from strike missions to this day, right? And I do them nearly every day. This system will be improved with the following changes on February 28th. So you get blue shards. I see. Icebridge Saga. So it looks like each, so each set of strikes will have a different colored currency, a bit like raids. Also, Icebridge Saga strike rewards that used to cost green and red now cost blue. All your red and green shards will be converted for blue. Green shards are now awarded by EoD strike missions. Yeah, that's great. That's good. Yep. I have no problem. It's still like a double shards because I think you've got like the really big ones for opening the weekly chest and the little ones that you can use to buy the armor, I guess. So okay, great, big simplification. Love to see it. Ender Dragon Strikes, green profit shards. Ender Dragon Strikes will give you green profit shards, which can be spent at a new vendor found in a hub area in Cantha, which I believe is Arborstone, actually, is the hub area they're referring to. In addition to their new set of rewards, EoD Strikes will have 2 weekly limited trades, allowing you to exchange your green profit shards for materials used to create legendary equipment. 10 times per week, 10 shards, and a spirit shard for 1 mystic coin. Interesting. That is a good deal. Spirit shards are pretty valuable, and you're going to have an excess of those, okay? So you get 10 MC a week. That's a lot of Mystic Coins, actually, per week. That's 40 a month. That's double what you get from the login rewards. That's actually a lot, by the way, a lot of Mystic Coins being added to the game. Significant amount. 5 times per week, 30 green profit shards, mystic coins, globs of ectos, and 2 spirit shards for 1 mystic clover. So that's the same as fractals. So in general, they've nerfed all of these bonus clovers that you can get. Also notice that they're adding mystic clovers. They're doing this because that's account bound, so they get consumed by the player. They don't kind of they don't inflate the economy, right? Or, you know, it doesn't flood the market with these items because it stays on the account and then you consume them. That can affect prices, though, because if you're able to generate your own clovers, that will still potentially cause coins themselves to be less valuable because you get the clovers. Also, big bonus meme here. They've actually confirmed something here, by the way, guys. Right, this is super, super important, by the way. The fact that you're getting mystic clovers from new rewards and the EoD strikes, this confirms you will need mystic clovers and mystic coins for Gen 3 legendaries, right? 100%. Okay? But yeah, I mean, yeah, you can technically trade them with Gifted Master, right? Like, you can technically do that, right? You know, and trade them, like, by crafting legendaries, of course. But, bear in mind, that actually confirms this, because they wouldn't be adding these coins and clovers to the new reward structures if it wasn't going to be involved in the legendaries, right? So this will be involved in the legendaries, 100%. Raids and Mystic Clovers. We're also adding a Mystic Clover purchase option that will give raiders a way to spend their raid currencies. Oh, that's really good. Okay. 30 Magnetite shards, 2 MC, 2, yeah, same thing, 2 Spirit shards for 1 Mystic Clover. So you can get 10 Mystic Clovers a week from raids, and it will cost you 300 Magnetite shards. Coincidentally, that's actually all of your currency. If you turn your gating crystals into Magnetite, which you can do, that means you can get 10 Clovers for a net 0 gain from a full clear. And, of course, you'll get some more currency from all the drops you get, the minis, right, like the stuff you can salvage. So that's actually pretty powerful. That's nice. That's another 70 gold you get from a weekly clear-ish, right? Mystic Clover, like 7 gold, right? That's actually a big deal. That is a big deal. But I guess it's not quite 70, right? Because you have to pay the MC and the Ectos, right? So it's more like, it's like, I feel like that's half price, right? 2 MC, 4 gold, 2 Ectos, 3 gold. It's like a little bit, yeah, it's like an extra 40 gold or so. Nice. Between 10 per week from Fractals, 10 per week from Raids, 5 per week from Guilds to Ender Dragon Strikes, you can purchase 25 discounted Mystic Clovers each week. Yeah, that's a big deal. That means you can get a legendary in, a legendary's worth of Clovers in under a month. That is actually huge. In fact, wait, you get 75 from Mystic Clovers, and then if you use your reward chest, you know, to get the 7 Mystic Clovers monthly, yeah, you get a legendary every month. That is going, wow, this is actually gonna nuke any economy people here? I feel like this is actually a pretty big deal economy-wise. That's so much. That's so many clovers that you can obtain by doing this. This is wild. You can get so many of these things. That's nearly double the amount you can get from fractals. That's pretty intense. That's going to make it way easier and basically completely dodging the RNG for anyone who's making Mystic Clovers. Now, it is of course, you're going to see less, you're going to... Where are the Mystic Coins here, actually? Like, because they said they're adding Mystic Coin sources too, but they haven't actually talked about that, right? They've only talked about Clovers. And they've removed a lot of coins from Fractals. Like, potentially a lot a day from Fractals. I guess not many people did them, but still. If you play Fractal Challenge modes often, then you have access to a lot of Fractal relics, and so Fractals remain an efficient source of Mystic Clovers for you. Raiders will be able to spend up to 300 Magnetite shards a week to convert into Mystic Clovers, which is the maximum earned from killing bosses. Yeah, hey, look, hey, I said that. Or some raiders can earn a little more, extra, yeah, and the raid sims. Okay, great. The 5 Mystic Clovers a week from Guild Wars 2 Ender Dragon Strikes are an option if you don't have regular access to raids or lots of Fractal relics, but players who engage across multiple content types will find it most efficient to earn their Mystic Coins with Strikes, and then spend those for Mystic Clovers using either Fractal relics, or Magnetite shards. Yeah, exactly, yeah. I actually don't mind that, right? So, they're basically justifying... what they're saying here is that it's worth to do the Fractal CMs for the relics... because the relics fuel the clovers. So they're treating they're trying to say that fractal relics are valuable because you have access to these clovers. But you do actually have to pay a lot more. It's double Mystic Coin now. There's a bigger sink on Mystic Coins as well for the clovers. Oh, no, we'll have to see how that plays out. I honestly want to talk to Enko. about this, or MM. I don't know if that's actually a good value proposition. I feel like it isn't. I feel like that isn't a good value proposition to do Fractal CMs. They're not slow, but maybe they don't really want you to do them every day, right? Maybe they just want you to do like when they're on rotation rather than every day, which difficult to say, right? Yeah, if you're doing all the endgame PvE, you're gonna have an insane amount of account value. Like what you want to look at here is that the amount of account value you're gonna get from doing all the endgame PvE is vast. This is insane, right? With how much account value you're gonna be able to get. If you do daily strikes, weekly raids, daily fractals, right, you are going to get a ludicrous amount of account value, but you're gonna get less liquid, right? You're gonna get a lot less gold that you can sell to other players, right? Because you aren't going to be getting like, a few mystic coins a day from challenge modes, and that is going to significantly reduce your kind of liquidity that you're going to have from doing fractal challenge modes. And people tend to value liquidity very highly, and that will certainly make challenge modes less appealing. But it's an interesting approach here, and I understand what they're saying here with this. I understand them. They must have thought about this a lot. I imagine they think about rewards in great detail. We'll have to see how this plays out, but I do have a suspicion this will be potentially harmful to the fractal stuff, right? Fractal challenge mode, like being like very, very common. And the other issue is and they probably won't think about this a lot, is that what do you do if you have every legendary, right? Mystic Clovers are then useless to you. So if you only care about gold, right? Which some players do, right? For buying things that, like buying the end game convenience, the Mystic Clothes, or they're not super interested in legendaries. They're mostly interested in obtaining skins and other expensive convenience items and gem store stuff. This is tough, right? That's tough, right? For sure. Because then you've had your fractal rewards nerfed hard if you are not into legendaries. If you're into legendaries, fine. Yeah, I guess you can sell. Yeah, you could craft them and to sell them. So you get your clovers, craft it, and then sell it. But I don't know. I feel like people aren't gonna do that, right? Like if you're a Fractal CM player, it will be a tough pill to swallow. Okay, and look, it's not over. We want more. Equipment, profession, and skill updates? What? It doesn't end. This is not a bombshell. This is a nuke. Okay, where we're coming from and where we're going. Bring the player, not the profession. That's our goal. We want to ensure that every player feels that they're able to play the profession they like or identify with the most and bring valuable contributions to the group. This means roles should be determined by your build and gear rather than your profession. Okay, fair enough. Guild Wars 2 is about positive, cooperative encounters. When more players play at the same time they're all stronger. No profession is purely selfish and completely unable to benefit nearby allies. Yeah, funny enough, well, I mean, no profession, yeah, some builds are, though. A year ago, essential gameplay roles such as alacrity and quickness are only able to be filled by a few specific builds. In May of last year, we added a couple of new options. While this has improved the diversity we see in actual raid groups, it was just a start. The 9 new elite specializations coming in Guild Wars 2 Ender Dragons spread boon support roles to professions that didn't have access to them, making it easy to slot the profession you like to play the role into the role your group has available. Yeah, sure, they want everyone to be able to do like the key stuff. Like everyone has quickness, everyone has alacrity, right? Like I actually don't mind this because alacrity and quickness, they're just like arbitrary effects, right? Like profession utility and profession, the different things that you can do and different features of your build are where things get a little more interesting, right? For sure. However, I do think you've got to be careful with homogeneity. I don't think you want to make everything homogeneous. If you do, you end up with people are only going to take like people are only going to want to play like the best version of whatever is homogeneous. I think it makes it boring as well. Like if everything does exactly the same, then what's the point, right? Like there's no point in having diluting classes that much is just, yeah, it's kind of boring, right? Which is not really a good thing in my opinion. You end up with everything basically being like playing exactly the same way, but it has a different color, right? And that's just not very exciting, to be honest. So I think they need to be careful with this approach a little bit. At its core, Guild Wars 2 thrives when the game encourages build diversity. A few additional changes are coming to increase parity between professions on wide scale. Oh my god. Forming a squad. Skill target caps in PvE. Currently, 4-boon squad for 10-player content requires juggling specific roles between subgroups based on target caps. Some roles, such as Alacrity and Warrior Banners, have a target cap of 10 players, while almost all others, including, such as most, Healing, Quickest, other boons, have a target cap of 5. Originally, the 10 target cap on Renegade and later Mirage Alacrity because there were so few options to fill this essential boon role. Guild Wars 2 and Dragons will give Engineer, Guardian, and Thief support builds access to Alacrity, and Elements and Necromancer will be able to provide quickness. With these additional options, now is the right time to simplify this aspect of squad formation. This is a very, very interesting statement here. I'm not entirely sure if I agree, because the thing about 10 target is that it reduces the amount of roles that you need to search for. Whereas if everything's 5 target, now you need 2 quickness, 2 alacrity, 2 healers that apply boons, right, etc., right? And that is, and no matter what ANNIHILATED do, people are always going to play low responsibility builds more. Right? People are never going to want to play Druid or Healer as much because you have responsibility. You're far more important, right, than a DPS player, right? It's just not the same thing. So I understand what they're trying to get. They're trying to, like, oh, you can fit a puzzle piece in here anywhere. I think that's good. And because I do think 10 target is overpowered, I prefer 5 target. But I think it's better because it's more balanced and it's less ridiculously overpowered. I think it actually makes squad building a little harder overall, even if you have more options, because you're going to require more unique roles that people may not be super into. That would be my take, or at least like a caution on it. But I do think there are some significant advantages. The only thing that I do kind of like to complain about actually in raids is I think it's very unintuitive to have 5 targets sometimes, because if you use a skill, right, and someone's right in front of you, but they're in the other subgroup, then the skill will affect your allies instead of that person right in front of you. That is a little weird. I think that's a quirk that's unusual. It's hard to go around this because either you make everything 10 target so you don't have that problem, but that is very overpowered, right? Like stuff like Druid, Tempest, Warrior, right? Like these things are ridiculous. Renegade is broken with how strong it really is, and you have to be very, very careful with this. Most 10 target skills and traits in PvE will have a maximum target cap of 5 in the expansion. Matching their current target caps in PvP and World vs. World. Generally, this will mean for each subgroup in a squad for strikes or raids, you'll want a healer, a source of quickness, a source of alacrity. Although we expect expert theory crafters to find ways to combine some of these roles. So here's the meme here. Like, like, I actually think this, you'll see a lot more diversity in what people are playing, simply because more things can do more things here. But it's really important. This is going to be an apocalypse. You know, there was someone called me out for just doomsaying that there's going to be an apocalypse on Twitter, I think. That tweet didn't age very well. This as an apocalypse, okay? Because this is seismic with what it's going to change. There are big winners and big losers here. And yeah, Firebrand is an insane winner here. Firebrand is the god of 5 target boons, right? It is going to be insane on launch unless they significantly nerf it, right? Like one of the weaknesses of Firebrand was that it doesn't have 10 target, and its application of boons is very weak compared to Druid or Tempest, for example. Now, right, Firebrand does not have that limitation because Tempest and Druid are basically being nerfed by 50%, right? They are nuking Druid and Tempest, right, and other kind of support options from orbit. It is the ion cannon, and that is going to skew things a lot. In this direction. And funnily enough, this actually kind of makes Scourge more busted because Scourge isn't 10 target. It's double 5 target, right? And it's quadruple 3 target. This actually massively makes Scourge better because now that 10 target access to barrier, yeah, nothing else can do that because it will all be 5 target. So stuff like Heal Scourge, DPS Scourge, and so on, right? And Firebrand get way stronger off the back of this. That's pretty interesting to think about that. It is worth noting, though, Heal Scourge will actually be more cumbersome here because Heal Scourge actually really heavily relies on one person applying boons because it doesn't. So this is actually a slight nerf to Heal Scourge in some respect because it means that getting those boons will kind of require you to sack a little bit more group DPS in some respect because you are going to need a Heal Scourge and someone to apply boons for the Heal Scourge, and then another booner in the other group as well. You could do this with offensive supports, for example, right? So you could kind of mitigate this. So you could have offensive people applying boons, like a Mirage, for example, giving Might and Alacrity, and a Firebrand giving Quickness and Fury to that subgroup, and then you have your Heal Scourge. So you can make it work, but it does make it more cumbersome, that's for sure. Right? Yeah, or a Chronomancer or something, or whatever, right? Okay, for sure. Okay, and more. But wait, there's more. From who can to who can't. In Guild Wars 2 Ender Dragons, only Warrior and Ranger lack the ability to fill those essential boon support roles. Oh no, spirits. Since banners and spirits are unique effects, Warrior and Ranger break from the simple system of shared boons and conditions that allow professions to share common roles. With this creates certainty. Oh, Druid! Oh no! Oh no! While this creates certain unique group roles like the Banner Warrior, it also strongly limits play. Yeah, because they're, well, not because of the effect, though, actually. It's not because of the effect. It's because the effect is always good. The only reason why it's this limiting is because there's very low opportunity cost to taking it. Like, Warrior, DPS Warrior, plays out identically to Banner Warrior, basically. In other words, there's zero opportunity cost. So, in other words, the effect is badly designed. It's not actually that unique mods are bad. It's that banners and spirits are very, very bad design because they're so passive and always like strictly good, right? There's no downside to taking them, right? There's no like place where they're weak. That's kind of why, not because they're unique. Really important to notice that in my opinion, but it does like very limit you because like not taking it is always bad pretty much. Warrior players have been telling us for years they'd like something on the name Banner Slave in groups. We agree. And we're going to rework banners and spirits to fit our shared boots. Oh no! Okay, but actually, notice what they said here. Ranger and Warrior are getting Quickness and Alacrity. We don't know which one. What? Oh, yeah. Warrior gets Quickness and Ranger gets Alacrity. Why? Ranger has, like, Quickening Zephyr, right? In Guild Wars 1, you could, like, make people's recharges go quicker. So it's more in theme with Ranger. And therefore, Warrior is probably going to get Quickness, right? As well. Like, I'd say pretty sure here. Like, and you could do Might as well. You could do, like, Might on Warrior and Quickness at the same time. Or they're going to add Quickness to banners, maybe? What? Maybe? And then Alacrity to a Spirit. Wait, Alacrity is blue? Well, actually, no, it's not anymore. It kind of used to be a little bit blue. I guess it was kind of purple. Wait, oh, no. No, it's green. It's kind of like glowy. Oh, so Frost Spirit gives Alacrity now? Maybe? I don't know. That's a very interesting thing here. Both professions will have access to new boon support roles using revamped banner, spirits, and related traits. That could be really interesting on Warrior, because obviously Warrior is going to be the new thing there. Druid will just be Druid, and Warrior will have this like new support archetype that's going to be built off the tactics trait line, I imagine, and banners and so on. That's pretty cool stuff. I love to see that. I think what's super interesting actually about Ranger is that this, because this is really interesting for Warrior and Ranger actually, because banners and spirits are baseline. This means that Quickness and Alacrity will be baseline on these professions, right? That means you can do Soul Beast and maybe give Alacrity, right? You can be Untamed and maybe give Alacrity, right? You could be a Spellbreaker and give maybe Quickness and so on, right? Like, there's actually a lot of pretty interesting options that you could do there. You have a lot of flexibility, right? With this stuff. Okay, unfortunately, hang on. Unfortunately, due to time constraints and work on the new Elite specializations, we're unable to make these changes for the Guild Wars 2 Ender Dragons launch. We're planning to make them a part of a larger balance version update and balance version coming this summer. Wait, until then? Oh, wait, what? Dude, I got baited. Until then, banners and spirits will remain as they are and continue to have a 10 target cap. Well, warriors, don't hang up your banners just yet. Like, you've still got some work to do, okay? You've still got work to do. Insane. All right. Well, I mean, hey. So we know when the first big balance patch is coming as well, right? Like, it's going to be... you're going to have to wait until the summer for that. And then there's going to be like a mega balance patch. That will be like the first part of their big balance cycle, I guess. Ooh. Poof. That's going to be interesting for a while then. You know, a lot of people think this is Rip Tempest. I actually don't agree. This actually, going to 5 target actually benefits Tempest a fair... It benefits Tempest quite nicely, I think, in... the context of the group. And the reason for that is because you now need 2 boon sources. So having that second boon source is actually more valuable now for giving like stuff like that. A lot of the time it will be Firebrand, but you can just do Quickness Firebrand and have a Tempest, and it kind of makes more sense because you can have that second healer. So I don't think this is actually the end of the world for Tempest, really. It's not great, but it could be worse, right? I'm just saying, it could be worse. All right, new attribute combinations. Ooh. Oh, hang on. Ooh. You have 2 new equipment attribute options for Guild Wars 2 Ender Dragons. Ritualist equipment provides a large increase to condition damage and vitality, and a small increase to concentration expertise. Ooh, that is interesting. So this is, the vitality is kind of holding this one back a little bit, but you do get condi damage and expertise, vitality and concentration. I don't... Is the... Plague Doctor Scourge. Yeah, this is really good for... No, you don't have healing power. It's not. This is for an offensive boon support. Condi boon support. Isn't this worse than Selly? You think it's better than Selly? I guess because you get way more Condi damage, right? Yeah, like... This is good for Firebrand, right? Yeah, it's very good on Firebrand. Because you scale with vitality on Firebrand, with virtues, and you don't really do, like, giga power damage. Like, you're, like, very Condi focused. So, you get the quickness duration. You can take, like, Balthazar in with that as well, because you don't need anything else there as well. Yeah. It's pretty strong. Yep. Spectre as well. Yeah, Spectre could see some play, because, yeah, you scale with vitality on Spectre. Yeah, I think that it's kind of aimed at, like, Spectre, Firebrand, Renegade. Right, yeah, Firebrand doesn't want the healing power. Yeah, exactly right, yeah. Yeah. Dragon's Equipment provides a large increase to power and ferocity and a small increase to precision and vitality. Ooh, is that better Marauders? I thought that's better Marauders. Actually, right? At that point. Yeah, like Harbinger as well, potentially. Because, like, getting extra health is really nice on that. Bear in mind, though, you only get minor expertise. Worse Marauder? Better, yeah, like, if you have, like, yeah, I guess not always. If you have, like, crit modifiers, it's better than Marauder, right? Like, if you're, like, a Reaper, this is really nice. Because you get loads of crit anyway from Decimate Defenses or whatever. Well, I guess or at least when you're in Shroud, right, you have that. Yeah, dude, Reaper gets screwed over, though, really hard with this, right? Because you don't get crit outside of Shroud, you only have it in Shroud. It's, like, really good for Renegade, though, right? Because, like, Renegade doesn't really need the precision because you have Invocation and you have Kala, or rather, you know, Renegade trait line as well for massive crit. So, like, you're actually, like, a beast on something like this. If you're crit card, yeah, obviously it's like really good if you have things that give you crit, right? So if you have traits that modify your critical strike chance, this is very strong for like open world and like solo play. So it's like they've been trying for a while to add something that's a little bit like Trailblazer for power, right? And I think stuff like Marauder and this are kind of trying to move it in that direction, for sure, right? That's pretty interesting. You know, damage out of Shroud? Yeah, true. Maybe you drop Soul Leader of Decimate Defenses. Yeah, maybe you do, right? Maybe you do that. If you're playing like a solo build, you would just play this, you would play that. So you just always crit cap, right? With all the vol and stuff. Yeah. These, only two. Okay. These attribute combinations will be available as an option for all legendary equipment immediately on launch day, and you can earn equipment with these prefixes by playing expansion content. We look forward to seeing what exciting new builds these attribute combinations enable across our gamers. Yeah, that is interesting. Like, people can already start to get to work on trying to theorycraft this. You know, I was a little bit worried. I'm actually glad they put defensives on both of these. I was expecting something like Ritualist to come out. That would be, I was kind of expecting like Demolisher from PvP. Like, I sort of like toughness, right? Like Marauder, but toughness was something I was expecting. But Dragon's kind of like that, I guess. I was expecting this to be precision, right? So I was expecting like Condi damage, loads of expertise maybe, right? Or loads of concentration, maybe like divining it, then precision and expertise as well. So we got Vit instead. So I think that kind of restrains it a little bit, but this is certainly powerful. This is a powerful trait line for sure, powerful ability for sure. Although I do think that, like, I'm not gonna lie, guys, like Selly I think is still very strong, right? Because like the amount of stats and value you get out of that is pretty insane, right? Like this is like Selly, but you get more Condi damage, right? Because the expertise and concentration will be the same, I believe. Like I think the 4 stat is the same on Selly as it is on the concentration will be the same, right? You know, you get the same level of that, but you're gonna have more Condi damage, which is interesting. But you don't get the power, precision, or ferocity. I think it'd be surprisingly close, actually, right? Like, I think it will be surprisingly close. I think this is... I'm going to make a slightly bold prediction. This is not Giga broken. It's definitely strong, but not like Omega broken, for sure. I think it has some usage, and we'll probably end up seeing some play on some builds. Great stuff like Harbinger. Spectre can certainly get value out of that too. Like, you know, Condi, Boon Duration, and Condi Duration. Pretty damn good. Yeah, it doesn't have healing power, so it's not going to create some kind of like Giga, Omega, Hyper, Busto, you know, wild, insane, like Scourge build or whatever. Because you kind of want that healing power with that. But certainly it'll be nice. So, I mean, look, you're going to be very tanky on your Harbinger with that, right? Because if you have all your Vitality, you're going to be a beast. Because you already have loads of extra health, and you have high base health on Necro, so you're going to be a monster. All right. The path ahead. Let's take a look. It may be called Guild Wars 2... Woo! It may be called Guild Wars 2 Ender Dragons, but contrary to what a few content creators said in their videos, it's a beginning. As we look forward to 2022 and beyond, oh look, we've got at least another year, guys. Come on, yeah! We're glad to have you on our continued journey together through Tyria. There's a lot to look forward to, and we can't wait to share more of what's to come. Wow! This is a huge... What was this post? This comes out of nowhere. Like, I was just enjoying a really cozy, relaxing stream, looking at the cute Jade bots. Ben P was in the mix. He was going crazy. He was just showing off all these things. Indigo was talking about Jade stuff. It was great. It was cozy. And they just dropped this bomb, this absolute insane nuke. This is honestly one of the biggest news posts I have ever seen. This is the biggest game changer, one of the biggest game changers we have ever seen being shared this early in Guild Wars 2. Wow. Okay, ArenaNet stepping up with the communication here. Oh my goodness. That was some serious content, okay? Wow. Yeah. Ben had to go get lunch for this one, apparently. Goodness me. What news. Absolute crazy news. Like, this is, well, I'm glad I'm doing tea time tomorrow, because believe me, this is, you know, we've got to get this one going, that's for sure. But anyway, that is the news. And actually, one more thing, right? One more thing. We can't wait to share more of what's to come. I hope they mean that. I'm just going to say this. I hope we're actually going to get, like, I don't know, I'd love a roadmap. I mean, you know, I think that this style of communication is great. I love it. I think a lot of people are going to be angry. This post is going to make people mad. Right, okay, wait, hang on. Chat, if you guys are big mad in chat, please put Maggies, right? Put Maggies in the chat if you're big mad right now. Let's just go ahead and just take a look. But I'm really, let's see. Look at them all. Look at them wiggling. Like. But anyway. Yeah. So, if you're not mad, you don't have to say anything. Right? It's all good. But I hope we get more communication. This is great. I've got to say, even though there are definitely some controversial changes here, like I said, I like that they're willing to go big. They've gone hard. This is big change. And I respect that. I am this post makes me excited straight up for the future of Guild Wars 2. Because, guys, ANNIHILATED aren't playing anymore. The kid gloves are off. ANNIHILATED's here to game. They're here to go hard. They're here to juice.